Good afternoon, and welcome to our Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony. I hereby declare the Undergraduate Commencement convened. Please stand. You are standing. The rest of you, please. And join with our soloist in singing America the Beautiful. And then please remain standing for the invocation.
As I pray in my faith tradition, I invite you to pray in yours. Good and gracious God, we gather this afternoon to recognize the achievements of the 2013 Southern Connecticut State University undergraduate students. We thank you for the gift of these graduates, the university staff, faculty, the graduates' parents, family, and benefactors. We praise you for the gift our students engaged in during their years of study here by recognizing and using your gifts of knowledge, wisdom, courage, fortitude, prudence, and awe over the course of their undergraduate studies. They have completed with success accomplishments known to only a chosen few. We pray in anticipation of the next leg of the journey these graduates are about to begin. We pray that they, with every breath they take, may continue to use your gifts to assist you in creating your kingdom here on earth in their future studies, work, and relationships. I paraphrase the great prophet and poet Isaiah. Brothers and sisters, ahead of you lies the promised land. As we travel through the desert, we are gathered together by our God, confident that he will bear us on wings to our destinations. Take great delight that you stand unfettered and unencumbered because you are surrounded by eternal love. May you always have your strength renewed by the Lord. May you walk and not grow faint. May you run and not grow weary. And may you always be borne as on the wings of an owl. Amen.
President Papazian, distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates of the class of 2013. My name is Chelsea Shalizzi, and I am honored to speak before you today on behalf of the senior class. To the class of 2013, let me first start off by saying congratulations to each and every one of you. Though the individual paths that we have traveled to get here today have varied, one thing is for certain. For each of us, it has been a journey, and today is a day to reflect on that journey and to celebrate it. It is also the most incredible beginning of the rest of our lives. During these last 4 or 5 years at Southern has become our home away from home. We have learned together, studied together, worked together, laughed and cried together, and waited on long Dunkin' lines together. As we celebrate our graduation, we are comforted in knowing the relationships and bonds created here will last a lifetime. Like the thousands of alumni that have come before us, we have been inspired by talented faculty, supported by amazing staff, and we have been challenged by the lessons learned in the classrooms of Engelman. We've created masterpieces in Earl and spent countless hours in the labs of Jennings. We have learned the meaning of hard work and determination on Southern's athletic fields and have tested our leadership skills in our involvement in clubs and organizations. I anxiously anticipate all the amazing contributions that each of you will make to this world. And as I read them, I will fondly remember our days at Southern. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I want to thank all of the people who have supported us on our journey. The mothers and fathers, siblings, grandparents, children, aunts, uncles, nieces and nephews, friends, old and new, professors and mentors. To those people who have guided us and supported us and helped make our dream a reality, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without your love and support, we wouldn't be here today. It is now with great honor that I introduce to you Southern's president, a woman who accepted the challenge of leading this great institution and during her first 2 years has transformed Southern and reaffirmed our place on the higher education map. Her vision and commitment to student success was felt immediately upon her arrival. The president of Southern Connecticut State University, Dr. Mary Papazian.
Thank you, Chelsea. It's wonderful to hear such words from one of our student leaders. I have to say that during my presidency, I've been highly impressed by the quality of our students and the self-sacrifice, determination, and sheer hard work that they have put in to achieve their goals. And today, for you, our fall graduates, all that effort comes to a happy fruition. It's fitting, many ways, that this inaugural December commencement falls during the holiday season. We made sure the snow fell yesterday so that we could have sunshine today. And now we have one more milestone event to celebrate. And our undergraduate commencement ceremonies always hold a special resonance here at Southern. Many of you are the first in your family to earn a college degree. Many of you have overcome obstacles, juggled jobs with your studies, cared for families, and handled other responsibilities to get where you are today. And for all of that and more, you are truly to be commended. But you all know that this is just the beginning. This is a commencement, after all. The learning that you started here will continue throughout your life. As Abraham Lincoln said, "I do not think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday." At Southern, we help you study the deepest thoughts, the most compelling language, the most beautiful art, and the most historic events. We helped you unravel the intricacies of science and math and the latest technologies. But now the rest is up to you. Indeed, in just a few minutes, you will take a small step onto this stage and make a giant leap into a future that may at first seem challenging, but that is truly filled with potential. And you, the members of the class of 2013, you hold the key to unlocking that potential. Your opportunities to learn, to explore, to build, and to create go far beyond anything that was available to past generations. 100 years ago, it wasn't that long ago, people were getting excited about the introduction of the parachute, windscreen wipers, and Brillo pads, those indispensable cleaners for pots and pans. What would those post-Victorians have made of all the technological advancements that have taken place within your short lifetime? Certainly, they would have been aghast at what lies ahead. Such is the pace of change. Just last week on CNN, Ray Kurzweil, one of the world's leading inventors, thinkers, and futurists, predicted that by the early 2020s, we will have the means to program our biology away from disease and aging. And students, you may think that's a long way off, but for your parents and grandparents, that is great news for all the baby boomers in the audience today. It's a little scary too, actually. Kurzweil goes on to say that within 10 years, we will routinely be using three-dimensional printing to manufacture clothing as well as replacement organs. Signs might say, print your own commencement gown. How about that? And he predicts that by 2030, solar energy will have the capacity to meet all of our energy needs. And as a result, this limitless supply of low-cost energy will revolutionize the production of food and clean water. This may all seem pie in the sky, but where were iPods and iPads and texting in the 1990s? And Kurzweil, I should point out, has a 30-year track record of accurate predictions. So we better listen. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to plunge headlong into this brave new world with your Southern education to guide and sustain you. For the knowledge that you've gained and the tools that you have at your disposal are ready to be put to the best use for yourself, for those you love, and for a host of people you don't even know yet. As a soon-to-be graduate of Southern Connecticut State University, you have a contribution to make to society, and each of you has a responsibility to think about what that contribution can be. Recently, the world lost one of its iconic figures, Nelson Mandela, the South African leader who inspired millions worldwide with his courage and timeless devotion to uplifting those in need. As you know, Mandela's fight for equality and harmony for all people was forged in the furnace of apartheid and continued undiminished through his 27 years as a political prisoner. When he was finally released and became his country's first black president, he preached not revenge, but reconciliation, saying that if you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. And in so doing, he diffused the potential for anarchy and civil war, instead laying the foundation for the multicultural rainbow nation that is contemporary South Africa. Nelson Mandela taught us many things about true human virtue, about the qualities of compassionate leadership, about the power of forgiveness. And he was also a believer in education and lifelong learning, considering that they were key to winning the struggle against apartheid. Education, Mandela said, is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. With this message in mind, I encourage you, our graduates of 2013, to set aside the technology for a little while and focus on your fellow human beings. Use the knowledge you have gained at Southern creatively and generously. Be a volunteer in your community. Be an active voice for peace and justice. Be a champion for tolerance and understanding. Never take for granted the opportunity to think, the privilege to serve, and the chance to make a contribution wherever you may be. There are millions and millions of young people in this country and worldwide who feel they will never have the opportunity to stand in your shoes. To them, a college degree and the many doors that it opens seems out of reach. But you can help to change that by taking all the knowledge and life experience you've gained and passing it on, paying it forward. Because what you do with everything that you have learned and experienced at Southern will ultimately shape the character of the times in which we live. As Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. And so, graduates of 2013, The degree you will receive today represents a wonderful accomplishment. I hope for you it is just the first of many on your journey through life. Congratulations to all of you. Southern is now part of a new system of public higher education overseen by the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities Board of Regents. We are very pleased to have with us a distinguished board member who has had a long and esteemed record in the field of education. For 45 years, she has served in many positions at institutions of higher learning, high schools, grade schools, and the State Department of Higher Education, where she was deputy commissioner. Most recently, she was an adjunct professor in undergraduate and graduate programs in public policy and higher education policy, law, and foundations at Charter Oak State College and the University of Hartford. She also works as a consultant in planning, policy development, and accreditation in education and higher education. She is the education conscience of our Board of Regents. Please join me in giving a warm Southern welcome to Dr. Merle Harris.
Good afternoon. I have the honor of bringing greetings on behalf of the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education. The Board of Regents is the governing board for the Connecticut State College and University system, including 12 community colleges, 4 state universities, and Charter Oak State College, Connecticut's online institution. Southern Connecticut State University is a bright star in the constellation of 17 institutions. As stated on the Southern website, it is dynamic, diverse, and dedicated to student success. Each of you receiving a degree this afternoon represents that student success. The university and the Board of Regents congratulate you on reaching this important milestone in your educational journey. I hope you recognize the value of what you have accomplished. You can be robbed of your material possessions, but what you have learned is yours, and no one can take that away from you. I truly hope your education is the foundation for your commitment to lifelong learning. I do have one request of each of you as you leave this institution. We hear so much negativity today, attitudes that create roadblocks instead of highways to success. Therefore, I ask you to heed the words of the Chinese proverb often associated with President John F. Kennedy. Don't complain about the darkness. Instead, light a candle. Again, I extend my congratulations from all the members of the Board of Regents. Go forward and light the way.
Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Teresa Sirico, President of our Alumni Association Board of Directors.
On behalf of the Southern Connecticut State University Alumni Association, I welcome you into an elite organization, 85,000 members in all 50 states and many foreign lands. But our message to you today is very simple. Number one, Southern's your home. We hope you will visit us frequently. We hope you'll stay in touch. Secondly, you can reach any of your goals in life. You can reach any of your expectations. What's most important, that you always believe in yourself. And finally, with your new university degree. You learned something as a child which will carry you through your whole life, and that is always be a little kinder than necessary to everyone you meet. So Godspeed, my fellow alum. Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you. And we hope you all graduates, you get to know the Alumni Association very, very well. Right? Teresa? Yeah. I always have to give the plug. They always say, give the plug. All right. Let me now introduce members of the platform party who will not otherwise be introduced. I ask the audience to please withhold your applause until all are introduced. James Furlong, University Chaplain. Mary Ann Kennedy, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. James Blake, Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration. Tracy Tyree, Vice President for Student Affairs. Robert Stamp, Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Pablo Molina, Chief Information Officer. Jay Bailey, Chief of Staff and Vice President for Organizational Development. Kimberly Crone, Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management. Peter Troiano, Assistant Vice President and Dean of Student Affairs. Pamela Lassiter, Director of Diversity and Equity Programs. Christina Baum, Director of Library Services. Chelsea Shalizzi, President of the Senior Class. William Ferracolis, Mace Bearer and President of the Faculty Senate. Robin Kenefick, University Banner Bearer and member of the Administrative Faculty Senate. Our platform marshal, Anna Rivera Alfaro, and Jonathan Irving are accompanying us today. Please give them all a round of applause. And finally, let me acknowledge the presence of many members of our faculty today. They're sprinkled throughout the audience. And without them, of course, we wouldn't be here today. So to our faculty, a round of applause. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mayor John DeStefano, Jr. You can applaud. He likes it when you do. And I'll only say that if we held this commencement, if it were weather delayed and we had to do it in January, I couldn't have said that. Mayor DeStefano is a longtime friend of Southern and an outstanding man of vision and accomplishment for the city of New Haven. He is the education mayor who has done so much to transform the city's public schools, both academically and physically, through a $1.5 billion citywide construction program and the nationally acclaimed School Change Initiative. Launched in 2009 to help ensure that a college degree is an economic and academic reality for all of New Haven's children, School Change has already seen a sharp rise in graduation rates and student achievement. Additionally, Mayor DeStefano has successfully worked to reduce crime, strengthen neighborhoods, and build the downtown into a thriving commercial center. He has achieved this by pursuing mixed-use development and growing New Haven as an economic hub for the biotechnology, pharmaceutical, research, and life science industry. And he has nurtured New Haven's standing as a vibrant arts community to establish it as the cultural capital of Connecticut. This is his last appearance at a Southern commencement in an official capacity. We hope he comes back year after year, as he is completing his final term after 19 highly productive years in office. He has been a forward-thinking, dedicated public servant. Please join me in giving a warm Southern welcome to the mayor of the city of New Haven, the Honorable John DeStefano, Jr.
I'm on this side of you, sweetheart. Thanks so much. Well, thank you. I want to thank Mary for inviting me, to faculty and staff, hello. Family and friends, good to see you here. And to the fall class of 2013, congratulations, guys. You look good. Now, truth be told, President Papazian took a risk in inviting me today. You see, I am the most dangerous kind of politician still in office and not running for re-election. So I run the risk of feeling free to antagonize any of you, which if you are a resident of New Haven, you know I am well practiced at doing for the last 20 years. And particularly if you park downtown, you know I have done a good job of antagonizing you. So some good and bad news to this class. First, the good news. Speaking of downtown and parking, many of you still owe me money. And because I know you want to leave here with a clear conscience, I have taken the liberty of inviting the New Haven Police Department to this commencement. They are outside right now in the parking lots. The only walking you do today may not just be up to this podium, but you will leave with good hearts. The bad news. The bad news is that most of you did not get here because you are lucky or good-looking. Actually, in fact, some of the guys are really quite frightening looking. You didn't get here, though, because of luck or looks. You got here the right way, right? You got here because you set goals for yourself. You got here because you did the work that you had to do to achieve those goals. And you got here because you persisted in the effort semester after semester, year after year. You are shortly to be graduates of Southern Connecticut State University, not because of luck, but because you made your own luck by setting goals, by doing the work, and by persisting at the work. Trust me, over 20 years as mayor of New Haven, I have seen lots of people who did not make it to stages such as this one. And I've seen the consequences to them and anyone they've come near to, disastrous consequences. You see, failure has consequences. Now, I'll say something about some other things. People who graduate from college, it is a fact. They live longer, they earn more money, and generally, they're happier in their lives. And it's obvious if you think about it. So longtime New Haven area residents. 50 years ago, who was the largest employer? Winchester's. 50 years ago, the largest employer was Winchester's. Today, the rifles are still made, but it's a licensed name. They're made overseas, where costs are cheaper, and frankly, the quality of the life of the workers are less. So now some of you got it. Who's the largest employer now? Yale, 14,000. Second largest employer. Yale New Haven Hospital. No. Oh, it's a wise group. There are cops here. I know where you live. It's the hospital. And if you look downtown, you'll see a crane has just gone up in the part of the highway we've closed. Alexion Pharmaceuticals, 500,000 square feet, 1,000 employees. What do all these things share? The people that work there are going to have college degrees. You see, good luck wouldn't have helped you at Winchester's 50 years ago either, though. Strong work habits and the muscles in your back and in your arms would have helped you at Winchester's 50 years ago. Today, you still need strong work habits, but the muscle you need is not in your arms or back. It's the one in your head. So if you're going to create your own luck going forward now that you have this degree, and since there isn't anything I can do about what you look like, let me give you 3 suggestions. First suggestions. My God, please don't think you did this by yourself. You had lots of help. Parents, family, friends, faculty, coaches, whomever, whatever it was, supported you, tolerated you, encouraged you, listened to you over and over again to your drama, whatever. Other people who were there for you, including the taxpayers of the state of Connecticut who paid most of the bill to keep the lights on here today. And so for sure, thank them today, but more importantly, do for someone else what has been done for you. Help other people by encouraging, supporting, coaching, and listening to their drama as well. And be responsible taxpayers. Not all taxes are bad. Support places like Southern and good early primary and secondary education here in Connecticut. I don't care how hard any of you worked. None of you did it alone. And the best way you can express thanks, hugs are great, kisses are great. You shouldn't have to pay for dinner tonight. The parents should. But express thanks by doing something for other people. Don't just be takers. Second suggestion, don't settle for less. Expect excellence, most especially from yourselves. Let's face it, we all know something. We all know when we're just going through the motions. I have days when I go through the motions doing the minimum, doing only enough to get by. But trust me, there are people waking up right now, half a world away, who are trying to figure out how to steal your jobs and your livelihoods. You don't even know who they are. You will never meet them, but trust me, they're tough competitors, and they're out there. Create a culture of doing a little bit more and a little bit extra, staying a little longer, being a little bit more tolerant. You will find that very small things account for the difference between good enough and being great. Be great at what you are and what you do. Third suggestion, don't give up. No matter how bad a day it is, someone's having a bad day. No matter how bad it is, most likely God loves you enough to give you another day. So persist and persist and persist and persist. The best thing about anything hard that people accomplish is that it was hard. Frankly, things that are given can be taken away, but things that are earned, a college education, a great job, someone you love, things that are given can be taken away, but things that are earned are yours forever. And they're worth trying to do over and over again. So, don't be arrogant and think you did it just by yourself. Don't settle for less than excellence in yourself and in others. And never, ever give up. Do those things, pay your parking tickets, and it'll all be okay. Congratulations, class.
Actually, I'm going to ask for another round of applause to Mayor DeStefano for his tremendous years of service to New Haven and to Southern. He deserves it. We're now reaching that part of the program that you've all been looking for, the conferral of degrees. And I'd like to ask our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Mary Ann Kennedy, to join me at the podium.
Today, we award degrees to undergraduate students who have achieved the exacting standards of excellence required for the baccalaureate degree. As each degree candidate comes forward, his or her name will be announced. A professional photographer will be taking commemorative photos of each graduate, so we ask you not to leave your seat to take photos during the ceremony. Although we are about to begin the lengthiest part of our program, it is the most important. This is the part of the program where we recognize each student by name. Therefore, we ask for your respectful attention during this time. The last name we read today is as important as the first. If we meet this expectation of respect for one another, then the pageantry and solemnity of the commencement ceremony will be fulfilled, and our time for celebration can begin. Following the presentation of the diplomas, and after the graduates have all returned to their seats, President Papazian will officially confer the degree. We ask that all graduates remain at their seats until the conclusion of the ceremony. We will begin with the graduates from the School of Health and Human Services to be presented by Dean Gregory Pavisa. They will be followed by the School of Education with Interim Dean Deborah Newton, the School of Business with Dean Ellen Durnan, and the School of Arts and Sciences with Dean Stephen Breeze. I now invite Dean Pavisa to begin.
Would the candidates from the School of Health and Human Services please stand? President Papazian, it is my pleasure to present these candidates for the bachelor's degree from the School of Health and Human Services. Would the marshals please bring the candidates forward? Magna cum laude, Logan P. Galvin. Jonathan David Adams. Cum laude, Emily Elizabeth McCord. Cum laude, Rachel Christina Kilmartin. Dana Ann Soderberg. Magna cum laude, Lee Marie Ryan. Magna cum laude, Margaret Patella. Robert S. Marullo, Jr. Megan Teresa Rostatelli. Prim K. Wabuhoa. Carol Ann Dickerson. Rebecca Brady. Rachel Lauren Benatez. Larissa Jankowick. Manpreet Kaur Yassel. Sheila Ama Osi. Magna cum laude, Leslie N. Collins. Alicia Nella Campanaro. Dominique L. Gibbs. Natanelli Raymond. Ashley Desiree Thompson. Catherine Elizabeth Bolt. Valerie P. Williams. Virginia Derville. Jessica Alexandra Tucci. Michelle Fatima Baez. Fariza Iqbal. James Michael Olson. Magna cum laude, Jared T. Spark. Selassie Lumax. Donna Victoria Rogers Jones.
Would the candidates for the School of Education please stand? President Papazian, it is my pleasure to present the candidates for the bachelor degree from the School of Education. Would the marshal please bring the candidates forward? Magna cum laude, Amy Nicole Berish. Jeffrey Purcell Williams, Jr. Magna cum laude, Marissa Lynn Sincho. Cum laude, Katira Jasmine Kearney. Emily C. Slavinsky. Magna cum laude, Kelly Ann Haggerty. Cum laude, Allison Kennedy. Cum laude, Georgia Lynn Vahaskis. Kayla Nassimino. Cum laude, Jessica Hamilton. Jessica Ruiz. Ashley Martins Rodriguez. Magna cum laude, Emily Harlow Oakes. Magna cum laude, Sarah Lillian Dean. Cum laude, Elizabeth M. Tate. Magna cum laude, Kayla Ann Whirl. Cum laude, Chelsea Lauren McKay. Katie A. Walter. Janelle Marie Salvatore. Marissa Rose Calabro. Megan Ann Decine. Michelle Sika. Lauren Eileen Rollins. Amber Laparelli. Cum laude, Christine Swingle. David McQuaid. Jennifer Lynn McNelly. Lauren Jean Deloser. Megan Ann Gomez.
Would the candidates from the School of Business please stand? President Papazian, it is my pleasure to present the candidates for the bachelor degree from the School of Business. Would the marshals please bring the candidates forward? Cum laude, Matthew M. Haydu. Michael Peter Del Sole. Jason R. Povinelli. Zachary Allen Keck. Cum laude, Brianna Ward. Deshawn E. Simpson. Rosanna Elisa Bernardo. Daniel L. Cohn. Salvatore N. Marino, Jr. William Izzo. Michael D. Vernero. Kai Tran. Ramesh Sharma. Magna cum laude, Faye Fan. Danielle Vishnu Parbo. Magna cum laude, George Izioki. Richard F. Rugarema, Jr. Jessica Monique Walters. Eric S. Nadolny. Amanda Miguel. Cum laude, Peter Daniel Quintilani. Matthew W. Cortell. Jamshed Sarwari. Paul Ferrucci, Jr. Richard Joseph DeLeon. Danielle F. Quagliaro. Michael Labella. Cum laude, James Anthony Visvari. Joseph Charles Anastasio. Jesse F. Williams. Daniel J. DeGennaro. Karen Mayagan. Caitlin E. Johnson. Erica Lynn Castellana. Blake A. Williams. Nikolai Romane Perpish. Paige A. Olenki. Michael W. Scott. John Gobrial. Julianne Min Lee. Andrea Santamaria. Nicole M. Einur. Gerard Murat, Jr. Eric Christopher Shields. Stephen A. Bisonon. Catherine Nicole Hosian. Rebecca B. Farah.
Will the degree candidates from the School of Arts and Sciences please stand? President Papazian, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you the candidates for bachelor's degrees from the School of Arts and Sciences. Will the marshals please direct the candidates forward? Garrett T. Owen. Corey Metz. Leroy Raimundo. Mark Elliott. Andrew Joseph Freseno. Andrew Michael Anastasio. Matthew Sappho. Cum laude, Nicholas Paul Lozon. Shane Justin Emery. Nathaniel Michael A. Blanchett. Magna cum laude, Samantha Marie Calcagni. Maria Caldwell. Alexandra Cerro Fertel. Michael Pena. Adam Richard Sigovich. Anthony Joseph Odo, Jr. Joseph Nguyen. Salil Panwar. Michael DeFabio. Sierra Catherine Ferguson. Patricia D. McCauley. Kendra Jade Baker. Brittany Ann Davis. Akila Aisha Player. Henry R. Mendoza Izaguirre. Michael Robert Gentile. Jeffrey Charles Masella. Patrick John Whitney. Jessica Marie Kelly. Megan Shaw. Julia Rose Corzo. Miguel Gaspar Benitez. Krista Marie Gargano. Laura Ann Morgan. Eva N. Segura. Amanda Susan Toth. Amanda Lynn Adams. Sarah Megan Baudry. Marlene Guzman. Erica McGee. Summa cum laude, Eric Borenson. Baba Gide A. Davis. Kevon Simeon Farley. Hal R. Hansen, Jr. Whitney Lovita Chris. Kenneth M. Preswa. Kennedy Chika Efosi Claire Obinois. Krishna Panjit J. Jani Os Hadi Nacht O. Hello. Nicole M. Jones. Ashley Keel Uski. Rebecca Ann Kelly. Charles C. Golsun. Fiona A. Soragan. Summa cum laude, Elizabeth C. Field. James Allen Henderson, Jr. Lindsay J. Kimball. Marisol Vasquez. Caitlin B. Smith. Terranio T. Melbourne. Caitlin Rose Wood. Ajane Monique Grant. Chelsea Nicole Vrabel. Brittany Nicole Danick. Jessica L. Santoro. Brian Matthew Crozier. Jenna Elizabeth Pasquale. John F. Carbone. Cum laude, Jacob Winfield Van Hees. John Bolingbroke. Cum laude, Emily Rose Ulinano. Cum laude, Anulika Kulkarni. Idaluz Shaparo. Jessica Rose Petrozello. Robert Joseph Secariccia, Jr. Mark Reed. Morgan Janae Hardrick. Jaquan Dupree Brinkley Johnson. Shayna Danielle Stanley. Magna cum laude, Jilan Saeed. Paige Persetto. Cum laude, Alexis Ann Catherine Protone. Caitlin Rose Britton. Cum laude, Brett LeBlanc. Cum laude, Julia Aline Granitz. Robin Margaret Bucci. Catherine Alexandra Brennan. Alexis Baker. Caitlin E. Mansfield. Zoe Alexandra Shamblin-Bornick. Brianna Rose McClin. Asha Janelle McDowell. Magna cum laude, Kirsten Smith. Caitlin Yozji. Cum laude, Thomas J. Sonneman. Jolisa Jacqueline Givon. Natalie S. Robinson. Elizabeth M. Howard. Cornell F. Gill. Cum laude, Evan M. Montas. Erika Farah Shore. Cum laude, Brittany Lynn Eberg. Cum laude, Michelle Sizowitz. Cum laude, Linza R. Schlosser. Ashley Amaka Ugazi. Juliana G. Williamson. Samantha Margaret Rudowitz. Magna cum laude, Lauren Marie Volpintesta. Ashley Nicole Poitras. Cum laude, Paul Michael Rizkowski. Chelsea Lynn Anjali. Hannah Elizabeth Kaufman. Jenna Yude. Darcy Marie Hughes. Alexandria Nogas. Stacy A. Handel. Magna cum laude, Ashley Elizabeth Hebert. Cum laude, Catherine Rose Anderson. Kelly Costin. Magna cum laude, Mary Catherine Galuska. Aisha Dion Kearney. Patricia Krasiska. Cum laude, Larissa Ann Yukanovich. Paulina Danuta Mrowick. Kimberly M. Alger. Jessina Medina. Danielle Soracco. Sophia Tenrenio. April Rivera. Matthew Serena. Joseph Gall. Thomas W. Sheridan, Jr. Brooke Alexandra Casalia. Allison Aubrey Carrier. Catherine Elise Cavaliere. Jasmine L. Owens Tyson. Stacy C. Simmons. Jennifer Lisa Guimay. Jessica A. Rachala. Miles Stephen Oros. Magna cum laude, Elisa Compass. Mark Lewis Jr. Priya Marvati. Nicole Maria Scaffon. Kelly Lynn Bennett. Sarah Kate Elizabeth Carr. Gina Lopez. Kaylee S. Mashad. Elaine Hernandez. Jennifer Motlier. Carly Barnes. Magna cum laude, Lakshima Prayosha Villa. And last but certainly not least, cum laude, Tyler Holmes Brown.
I'll just remind you, I actually still have to confer the degrees. So unless you want to take another final, anybody want to do that? All right. Will all members of the Southern Connecticut State University class of 2013 please rise? Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities Board of Regents for Higher Education, I confer upon you the appropriate degree, and I invest you with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereunto. Graduates of the class of 2013, now that you are officially graduates of Southern Connecticut State University, please move your tassels to the left side of your caps. I think you've made a few people proud. Congratulations. I hereby declare the 2013 December commencement exercises of Southern Connecticut State University to be adjourned. Congratulations to all.